Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will show you how to craft yourself this epic diorama. All the materials cost me less than $30, which is the same price as the official set, which I honestly think is less impressive. But please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments which one you prefer. And without further ado, let's start the crafting. We will first start with the materials that you will need. On Amazon, you will be able to find a lot of palm trees that are really cheap. You will also need some white glue and XPS foam, as well as 2 sheets of EVA foam, and one of balsa wood, but any plank will do the trick. Not mandatory, but on Amazon you will be able to find this beautiful jeep, as well as some fake moss. You will also need some static grass, some coffee stirrers, and finally some square wooden dowels that we will use straight away for the doors. For each door, you will need to cut 2 parts of 11 cm each. It's not mandatory, and from behind it will not be beautiful, but otherwise I found out that it's more easy to use the balsa wood as a frame for the doors. In the description of this video, you will be able to find a link to a Google Drive in which you will find the blueprint for the door, as well as a full 3D rendering and some road sign pictures. Once completed, each door will be 11 cm by 5 cm. But don't glue the dowel right away, because it will be more easy to first glue the coffee stirrers. Leave it to dry, and then you will cut the excess of the coffee stirrers. Then, using some balsa wood, you will be able to replicate the decoration of the doors. Once ready, you will simply apply 2 coats of brown. And then you will apply 1 coat of dry brush. If you don't know this technique, I will show you right away with the palm trees. As you can see, the foliage looks quite good, but the trunks not so much. And therefore, we'll make them look a bit better by using 1 shade of brown and 1 shade of beige. The trunks are already colored, so in this case you will only need 1 coat of brown. With this step only, it already looks quite good, but we'll make it even better. For this, we'll use the dry brushing technique. You will mix a bit of beige or white in your basis color. Then, you will remove the excess pen from your brush on a paper towel, and then you will apply gently on the trunks. The idea here is to not hit any of the recesses of the trunk, but only the highest parts. In the next step, we'll put the EVA foam one above the other, and on the first one, we'll draw the road that need to be as wide as the doors. And then you will cut the inside part of the roads. When you do that, make sure to tilt your scissors in order to get a beautiful beveled result. And you will then glue back each road sides. In the next step, to make the road, we'll glue some gravels. We'll start from the biggest one and go to the smallest one. But before that, make sure to spread the glue with some water on your brush. To paint it easily without melting the foam, I will use the spray can from Army Painters. You can also do it with a brush, but it will take more time and more coats. For the road itself, I will use some grey, and for the road sides, some green. And then once again, we'll use the same dry brushing technique that we use on the door and on the palm trees. And again, in a few easy steps, we get a beautiful result. For the stone part of the doors, we'll use some XPS foam. Once again, a Google Drive is available with a blueprint with all the measurements that you will need. And for our American friends, you can simply divide all the measurements in two. And for all the stone part of this build, don't forget to add some texture with a rock from your garden. And don't forget the small part for the torches. To paint everything super easily, I will put some toothpick and some barbecue skewer into all the pieces. And I will once again do a first coat of Army Painter's Runes color. And in the meantime, I made some posts that I will paint white. For the stone parts, I will use the same dry brushing technique, but with far more coats. In my last video, I showed the process in details if you are interested. For the next step, you will take the road signs available in the Google Drive, you will cut them a bit larger and you will glue them on a stiff paper. And this will be the result once glued on the post. For the letters of the logo, you can do the same as for the road sign, but you will use it as a template on your XPS foam. You can use some masking tape on a stick in order to attach the letter for the paint job. Same as for the rock, you will apply a first coat of grey and then you will apply 2 coats of yellow. And then you will draw the inline of the letter with some red. I did the first coat with a pencil to avoid any mistake, and then with a marker. And now it's time to glue everything together. Don't forget to add some salt mark at the level of the torches. And the final build that we need to do is the famous electric fences. For this, you will simply paint some barbecue skewer grey and then we will paint it with some silver. Then, with the tips of one barbecue skewer, we'll punch some holes in the side of the stone. The easiest way is to do one hole in the upper part of the middle stone and one hole in the below part of the below stone, and then in one line you will punch a hole every 1.5 cm. Once you are ready, you can already glue the stone to the base, but don't glue the electrical fence yet. And now I will show you how to make flames for the torches. For this, you will simply need some Q-tips and some colors. You will need one shade of yellow, if possible 2 shades of orange, but one will do the trick, some red and some black. Once ready, you will mix a bit of white glue on your fingers and you will then shape the tips of the Q-tip into a flame. And then you will simply apply the color in order, from yellow to orange and then a bit of black. You don't need to wait for it to dry completely between each coat, and you need to make sure to not apply too much paint in order to keep the transparency. When you are waiting for it to dry completely, you can punch some holes in the base for the trees. Make sure to not do it with the tip of the trees, because it's not sharp enough and it will break. And the next step will be to spread some glue on the base in order to apply some static grass. Don't do the full base in one shot, because the glue will dry too quickly. While the grass is drying, you can finally glue the electrical fence. And don't forget to add some signs for the lore. And now you can glue the flames. Make sure to glue the entrance logo before the doors. If you like this build so far, and before the final step, please take some time to like, comment and subscribe if it's not already the case. Here you can see that I'm using some white glue, but honestly the doors are too heavy and I had to get back with some hot glue. And to make sure that it dries in the correct position, don't hesitate to use some support.